Hey, tubers and fellow theater geeks. Well, that about does it. Wraps are all up. We had our public reading. I thought it went really, really well. We had a good-sized house. They were really engaged. They laughed in the right places, felt the heartstrings pull in the other spots, so all good there. Afterwards, we had our critical response process, which, as I've mentioned many times, the Lerman process. That's a really structured process, so I think in the beginning for some folks it was a little intimidating, but once we got into it, it was a great jumping off point for conversation. I really loved the artist's questioner portion because that allows me to ask the audience really specific things and pinpoint things that I wanted to talk about, and I got some great feedback there, helped me learn that the play was already on the right track in terms of structure, so I don't need to make any big sweeping changes there. They had a lot of cool and interesting feedback on certain character relationships, so I can work on that a little bit more, which is going to be fun. And so that was scheduled for 30 minutes and it went well over an hour, which to me is really telling about how engaged the audience was and how much fun they had with the overall process that evening at least. And then the big question is, what's next? So now that we've wrapped up the 5 days of the project, I work on the final grant report, which is, filling out details on the overall project, how it went, how did it serve the community, tabulating all the receipts, adding a little documentary evidence like this, like videos, imagery. I wish I had taken more imagery and video, but I was sitting in the back trying to gauge the audience response, and so I didn't take as much as I would have liked, but we got a couple good little bits of video and some pictures. And so after that, people, even though it went over an hour and it was scheduled for 30 minutes, after that we still stuck around and hung out and talked about the play even more. And then the question is, when do we get to see a full production? Multiple people ask that question. And if we're talking about odds, the truth of the matter is the odds are probably slim to none. There are thousands of new plays written every year, and there's just not that much opportunity out there to actually get a full production. I'm going to take everything I learned from this process and make a few final revisions and get a really good final polished draft of the script, and keep submitting it. I'll keep sending it to theaters and any opportunities that are available to submit plays to. But from there, it's just probably a really difficult hill to climb. I may also work on it as a screenplay and try to turn it into a film, which I did with my other play, The 3 E's. And we'll just go from there. But I really appreciate you watching these short videos on the process, taking the ride with me. I hope you learned some cool things. If you have any questions, please do leave them in the comments and I will be sure to address them. Thank you again so much. Please do stick around for more fun stuff on the channel.